Welcome to all the viewers joining us for this preview. It will be for the Turffontein meeting. Looking forward to the exciting racing ahead of us. Joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Morning, Alistair. How are you doing?
Yeah, morning, Sheldon. All good, thanks. Lovely weekend. Obviously, great racing at Maidan on Friday night. And, well, when we get to the Sunday card at Turffontein, we'll obviously be less than a week away from the Cape Met. And, yeah, that's going to be one of the great Mets, I think, of recent memory. Every now and then, sort of one horse stands out and chases away a lot of the fancied opposition, or perhaps any potential opposition. But this year, looks like we've got a cracking field, and interesting to see the dynamics of the three-year-olds at play. But all will be revealed next Saturday. As for this card at Turffontein on Sunday, I actually quite like the card. We're not too far away from starting the autumn season. A lot of promising three-year-olds starting to step out as well. So it should be good stuff.
Lots to look forward to on the horizon in the next couple of weeks. So let's get straight into the action. You heard from Alistair, he likes the card at Turffontein as we bring up the slide for the first race. Number 7, Heart of Eternity, is your lukewarm favourite at 3-1. Number 1, Gregarious Gal, 4-1, with number 8, Radu, at 4-1. Alistair, opening the programme, a horse like number 7, Heart of Eternity. There's a lot of scope to improve. That last one, a little bit disappointing?
Very disappointing, Sheldon. On that particular occasion, she finished behind Tsitsikama Pearl and Gregarious Gull, and she returned blowing last time, so she's probably worth another chance. Her first run to Let's Cruise was fair, but I also think that was a fairly shallow field. So I'm not particularly hot on number 7, Heart of Eternity. I think you summed it up by describing her as a lukewarm favourite. I know number 1, Gregarious Gull, being very costly to follow. She started favourite. She started 3-10 in her second start, and she got hammered by Rockets Red Glaze. Only won once since. I'm going to take a speculative go that Sunday might be number 1, Gregarious Gull's day. She's drawn towards the outside on a dry Turffontein track that's not quite as noteworthy as a wet Turffontein track, but I think it might be number 1, Gregarious Gull's opportunity and probably best chance to get out the maidens. And I think her biggest danger is number 8, Radu, even though she's bred for a little bit further. She's a half-sister to Group 1 winning miler MK's Pride. I thought her debut was good enough to suggest that there's definitely some improvement to come. If not now, will be soon for number 8, Radu. But I think to start off, I suggested bet as a place accumulator. The main reason why it's not a bar pot is because I'm not mad about the first race on the card.
Well, you heard from Alistair, the first race. Be a little bit cautious as we move on to the place accumulator, and that's Alistair Cohen's bet for the day. Alistair, looking at number 2, Cape Lights, currently trading at even money. They're betting 5-1 bar the top runner. And looking at the card, there's 3 runners that are quite short at around even money, and 11-10. And you willing to go with number 2, Cape Lights? Tough to beat?
Very tough to beat, Sheldon. Robbie Sage has nominated her and nominated her and nominated her for the last 2 months, and she keeps getting rotten draws. This time out of Stallgate number 4, she'll have the run of the race. She looks set to win. Her biggest dangers on form don't bring the most inspiring strength to their form lines into the picture here. So I think it's Cape Light's turn to get out the maidens. Number 10, Follow the Flows, probably the improver in the race, but October Fair was beaten during the week by Lady Regent, and Lady Regent, of course, finished in front of Cape Lights. So if you want to draw parallels between indirect lines of form, number 2, Cape Lights, I think has got them held on every conceivable piece. Again, Sean Terry and Larry Nestor have a potential improver in the form of number 11, Impression. She comes back to a mile after her first run over 1,700 metres. That's much of a much. I don't know about the strength of the form, but she did stay on quite nicely first time out, so there could be a bit of improvement to come. If you're looking to make a little bit of money, perhaps trifectas with revolving around number 2 and 11, but number 2, Cape Lights, undoubtedly the one to beat.
Let's move along to race number 3, where at this stage, number 10, National Star, is the even money favourite. I can tell you, just having a quick look, number 5, Circus Lights, I see is a scratching. So it's just come through. Number 5, Circus Lights, has been scratched. Your place accumulator, you were going with, I think, numbers 5 and 10. So with number 5, Circus Lights, a casualty. Number 10, National Star, the even money favourite. You now got that.
Yeah, Sheldon, I was actually initially looking to beat number 10, National Star, in everything, well, not in everything, but sort of hoping from a totally selfish point of view that she was going to be the the bridesmaid yet again, and I was going to take her on with number 5, Circus Lights, but now his withdrawal, kind of in the dark for any dangers for number 10, National Star. She's well overdue. I'm not too sure about her best trip. I don't know if there's a happy medium for the daughter of Pomodoro, because she tends to lack the pace in a sprint, and then she doesn't get home in a mile. She was obviously carded to run the Work Riders Maiden on Thursday, but she got withdrawn with this race in mind. Sianda Sasibo was well worth his 2.5 kilo claim. From a place accumulator perspective, I can't see her missing the first 3. From a bar pot perspective, I can't see her missing the first 2, but I wouldn't go broke on her. Horses like One Spring Will Come and 2 Broadway, they're both 17-run maidens. That tells you everything you need to know about them. They're not very good, but National Star herself is also no superstar, so she's vulnerable to win, but she shouldn't miss the first 2.
Let's go on to race number 4, where number 3, Unzen, is your current 5-2 favourite. Then numbers 5, Golden Prospect, and number 4, Raffles at 3-1 and 33-10 respectively. At the early time of recording, number 7, Bowl First, is scratched, so that is the casualty. Alistair, looking at numbers 3, 4 and 5, Unzen, Raffles and Golden Prospect, would one of those 3 be your top selection?
Top selection here is number 5, Golden Prospect, Sheldon, the son of Pomodoro. I loved the last run in the Tony Ruffle when finishing 4 lengths behind what must have been one of the shortest favourites of the year, Royal Victory. He was an absolute aimer. He didn't let the team down. I like the way Golden Prospect started his career, and then he was thrown in the deep end, Group 2 and Group 1 level at Hollywoodbets Greyville. He didn't exactly sink, but I'm not too sure the turning Greyville course was to his liking. He came back, he needed his first run over 1,200 metres. It wasn't a bad effort. Might look a little bit average, finishing 3 1/4 lengths behind Tanganga, who's no superstar, but then followed up with a run more like it. I expect him to get better as the autumn season goes on. I'm sure Sean Terry will target races like the Gauteng Guineas and the South African Classic with number 5, Golden Prospect. And I think the more racing he does, the more it's going to suit him. And the further he goes, the better he'll be. So he'll be my first selection. I think number 3, Unzen, despite being the best weighted horse according to ratings in the race, I think his rating is highly inflated and exaggerated for winning a Bloodstock South Africa sales incentive race, beating Turconnell, who hasn't been seen since. There have been winners out of it, and I know that the Dingons is probably the strongest South African form line around, but he was beaten 22 lengths. The jury's out at number 3, Unzen. I think an above-average 3-year-old would have his number. And then this horse, number 6, Houston, from Candice Dawson's yard. First run is a gelding. He is a very, very nice horse. He's a trier. He gets Keegan DeMello in the irons. He'll come in 2 draws because of the other scratching at number 2, Rain or Shine. He's also a non-runner. Include number 6, Houston, in your trifectas and quartets. He'll run nicely as a first run as a gelding.
Yes, just having a look, updating now. Number 2, Rain or Shine, scratch, 15% deduction, so there'll be 2 less soldiers in the race, and hopefully number 5, Golden Prospect, can do the business for you, Alistair. Now, race number 5, number 6, Anfield's Rocket, and number 7, Sheldon, 18-10, 33-10. What do you make of this horse, number 6, Anfield's Rocket, on the up?
Very good horse, Sheldon. I think he might be vulnerable, though. I made the same mistake with the other horse of Grant Maroon, who went down to Cape Town on Guineas Day in the form of In the Ether and came back 10 days later and won. That's a training feat of note, but In the Ether subsequently went flat. I'm hoping number 6, Anfield's Rocket, doesn't do the same. Again, Anfield's Rocket, this event almost screams prep run for races like the Gauteng Guineas, which is not too far away. It's only 2 weeks away. So I think this race will bring him on and probably do him more good than harm. He was unlucky in the Cape Guineas, had the worst of the draws, the race wasn't run to suit, and top horses ran away from him. But if you consider that he was only about 6 lengths behind cousin Casey, and Charles Dickens was in a race of his own, then that run doesn't look all that bad. He's undoubtedly in the pick 6. But over 1,000 metres, they might just run him off his feet and he'll be doing his best work late. So I'm going to take him on. I'm going to take him on with you. I'm going to take him on with number 7, Sheldon, who I thought was stiff behind Flower Bomb last time out. He had the race by the scruff of the neck, and Flower Bomb off a lighter weight, getting 5.5 kilos, breezed past him. So I think number 7, Sheldon, is a horse on the up. And then number 4, Mercantor. Ratings come down a pound. He was unlucky last time behind Shayavana. On the 24th of December, he was just behind Sheldon. I don't think there'll be too much to choose between them. I think Mercantor is just about teed up for for a big performance and nearly popping to win, and I think he'll give a good account for himself. So 4 and 7 for me in race number 5. And the place accumulator, pick 6, I'm definitely going to be including number 6, Anfield's Rocket, and if you're looking for one more, it would be number 3, Constable.
There you heard number 3, Constable, if you're looking for one more to throw into the equation. Alistair, moving along to race number 6. Now, a number of the punters, they'll be really looking forward to this. Some graded form with the likes of number 1, Sweet Pepper, number 2, Marani. You got number 5, Flower Bomb, and horses like Kiss Me, Captain. Let's kick off with number 1, Sweet Pepper. Here's a horse who's got any amount of ability, and if you catch her on the right day, she could win this.
Pound for pound, I think the best horse in the race. She is a Group 1 winner. She won at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, winning the Alan Robertson at the start of June. And, that was obviously a signal of intent, and then followed up with runs that, over the wrong distance, and then also probably just needing her first couple of runs back, showing more like it form last time out. Interesting that the blinkers go on for the first time, so let's see how that works out at number 1, Green Pepper. She does give weight away, but she's the class package of the race. If you isolate times and times alone, though, number 3, Miss Daisy, has got the best 1,000-meter time on offer. Ryan Munger takes her out for Billy Races, drawn towards the outside. She didn't go a mile last time. Ignore that run. She wasn't disgraced. She was 5 lengths behind Gimme a Shot, but that was comfortably her worst run to date, and she also returned not striding out on that occasion. So number 3, Miss Daisy, back to 1,160 metres. Huge chance. And I'm a big fan of this horse, number 7, Southern Skies. Her rating is debatable at 98 for a maiden win, but it was an impressive maiden win. There isn't much to get excited about as far as the form lines are concerned and behind. But last time ran behind a Group 2 winner in the form of Dice. Dice followed up running second in the Grand Heritage. That form looks fair. So I think number 7, Southern Skies, will earn a bit of black type here. 3 and 7 for me in the place accumulator. 1, 3 and 7 for me in the pick 6. And also an honourable mention for this horse, number 5, Flower Bomb, who's getting better and better and stepping up every time. Just kind of wonder when the end is for number 5, Flower Bomb, though.
There we go. Alistair summed it up to the T as we move on to the penultimate race, race number 7. Number 10 is 18 to 10. Number 9, none other, 5 to 2. Number 1, Billy Bowlegs, is trading at 5 to 1. Looking at the structuring of your place accumulator, Alistair, you're looking to go with numbers 1 and 10, the 2 runners.
I nearly banked at number 10, Bonetta Sheldon. Her last one was superb. I thought in the Fillies Mile, everything went wrong. The saddle slipped, and she still didn't run badly behind Emma Regina. She's obviously a lot better than that run. She's got a huge reputation, this daughter of Quirari. Mike de Kock trains, and I think off the lighter weight, getting the Fillies sex allowance. That number 10, Bonetta's the horse that they all need to beat. On the run on Christmas Eve, she finished in front of Pragmatist. She's got Pragmatist stone cold at the weights, so I expect her to win. I think being from the famous Illa de Vittoria family, the further she goes, the more she races, the better she'll get. Like I said, I nearly banked her, but then I watched Billy Bowlegs' last run over this trip at the Vaal, and it was a seriously good win. He had no right to win. He absolutely took off, beating Eye of the Prophet. I think the key to that, he was giving Eye of the Prophet weight. Paul Matchett's made no bones about the fact that he thinks Eye of the Prophet's a good horse. And again, Billy Bowlegs was franking that Dingon's form. Muzieni's back on board. The draw's no worry to me because I think he'll drop in. It doesn't look like there'll be too much pace in the race, so that could be a bit of a cause for concern. But he's got a big turn of foot, number 1, Billy Bowlegs. And if in the same mood as he was last time, he'll be unwinding and chasing late. But I think number 10, Bonetta's the horse that they all need to beat.
Now, just before we let you go off and enjoy that lovely breakfast in the heat this morning, we're going to go with race number 8. So 1 hurdle left to negotiate. Thanks very much, Alistair. Number 1, Celestial City, is even money. And then pretty much number 2, Duke of Rain, 9 to 2. You can then get 6 to 1 and 8 to 1 and better the rest. This horse, Celestial City, seems to be going in the right direction. Do you think even money is the right price, or are you looking to take this one on?
I'm going to take him on, Sheldon. At a stall get number 1, that's a huge benefit for this impeccably well-bred son of Silvano. We all know about the breeding and the champions that the mare Halfway to Heaven has produced. I thought he had victory in his sights, and he conspired to get turned over last time, so that's my worry. As he got the desire to get the job done, he won a particularly weak maiden on debut, and he's followed up with 2 good seconds, but it could have been so different. Is he just a confidence horse? Is he just the type of horse who needs to get his head on front and from there he'll kick on? I think to say that he's above the handicap, a rating of 74, it sounds a little bit ridiculous, but when you start your career as a 4-year-old, you do tend to escape the handicapper's clutches. So number 1, Celestial City, a live runner. I've left him out of the place accumulator, but he's no doubt in my pick 6. My PA horses here are number 3, Forged by Fire, who I went with in a big way last time at any price, open 25 to 1. The money came, and he just got touched off by Rarotonga Rose, who has won again since. And then back up from number 9, Follow My Path, who's in good hearts at the moment. He ran on really strongly last time behind Twin Turbo at the Vaal. He's got a nice light weight, and I think that he could very well follow up. Since blinkers have gone on, he seems to have turned the corner again. He's a 6-year-old. He's not getting much better, but the blinkers just seem to have brought a little bit of life back to the son of Eightfold Pass. So for lightweight, I think he'll be dangerous. Tricky end to racing at Turffontein, I must confess. Lots in with chances, but in the place accumulator, I'm happy with the 2 horses.
There we go, Alistair. You might be right on the back value there with number 3, Forged by Fire. You mentioned you went for him in a big way last time out. So you can still get 10 to 1 on this occasion. So maybe worth following up on number 3, Forged by Fire. Thanks very much, Alistair. Thanks very much for your time. And hopefully you enjoy a wonderful breakfast this morning. And we'll catch up with you soon.
Sheldon, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Always a pleasure chatting to you and working with the guys down in Durban. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks very much to Alistair Cohen as we move on to the bet for the meeting. And Alistair Cohen has elected to go with the place accumulator, and we'll bring that place accumulator up. And Alistair Cohen's numbers, starting off with the Banker 2. This is for Sunday the 22nd of January. Banker 2 by numbers 5 and 10. The third leg, 3 runners, 3, 5 and 6, followed by 4 and 7. Next leg, 3 and 7. Penultimate leg, numbers 1 and 10, and the pattern continues with the 2 runners at the back looking to beat the even money favourite, Celestial City, out of the money with numbers 3 and 9. He mentioned number 3, Forged by Fire. That could just be the value play in the race, and also looking at a horse like number 9, which is Follow My Path at around 8 to 1. So maybe take some swingers and exactors. But thanks very much to Alistair Cohen. He's given us his place accumulator for the meeting out at Turffontein. For you, the viewer, best of luck, and hopefully we catch you on the winner's side.